Well, a very good afternoon everybody. Welcome back here to Royal Leamington Spa for the 2021 Bowls England National Finals. Well, we have an absolutely fantastic game for you. It's the mixed pairs final. Just finishing off their trail ends, and we have a Essex Yorkshire battle. In the red stickers, Ed Morris and Elaine scored against Mark Walton and Sue Ellen in the white stickers. So we've just moved across here. You probably noticed with the eagle eyes we've just moved across rinks, so we're playing on A green still as always for the finals, and we've just moved across to rink number 3. They have the green to themselves for this afternoon. And for those of you that have tuned in during the day, well, I think we're in for an absolute belter here. Both lady leads have led very, very well on a very difficult rink. Now that takes some doing, doesn't it, Steph?
Absolutely. I'm just wondering if they've moved over to rink 3, maybe slightly better lines. I think everyone's hoping for tighter heads this time.
Yeah, well, I think it's just to keep it fair. You know, both of these teams have obviously played on A2, so that's fair. Move it across, and then no one's played on this rink today, so that's quite good. For those regular players, you'll know obviously within the rinks we have 3 settings normally at most clubs, and within those settings you can normally move on about 2.5 feet either way. If you have just joined us for the first time, a very warm welcome to you. It's 3 bowl pairs, 18 ends. Whoever's in front after that will be the national champions in the mixed pairs format. If you are out and about or still working, then you can keep up to date with all the scores. Either just keep nipping on the Facebook, or you can go on YouTube, and also scoring is in operation on the Bowls England website. It is new this year, so this is an extra day for you. The first couple of days that we did went down really, really well, so thank you very much for your lovely comments and your likes and your shares. It's really, really important that we do the likes and the shares just to get the sport out there. Really appreciate what we're trying to do, and then who knows, if it takes off next year, the powers that be will hopefully get some more streaming in operation for you.
You won't be able to go on holiday to Scotland next year then?
No, I know, I've had to break my holiday for this, I know. Fantastic, just straight back from Scotland during the night on the night sleeper train just to get to Leamington in time, which is really, really great.
And you've brought the sunshine with you.
Yeah, I think I took the sunshine with me, and then I brought it back because it was a bit cold this morning when we arrived here. Still a little bit breezy. Sometimes that does, just take effect with the bowls. Playing away from the river. For those of you that know Royal Leamington Spa, normally slightly heavier away from the river. Still a few more events going on. This weekend sees an awful lot of team games going on, which is fantastic for the atmosphere. The under 25s and under 31s, both men's and ladies teams, take to the greens. That really is fantastic to see. If you do want to come down, tickets are available. Like I said, you can book them on the Bowls England website. A bit more of an experience this year. Stands are up. We have a fan zone. There's the normal bowl shops as well. There's various eating establishments, and there's also a really, really amazing David Bryant tribute, which I thought was quite a nice touch, to be honest, all put together by David Rees-Jones. So if he's listening, thank you very much for that. So I've had a couple of looks actually, and I think it really is something very, very interesting to have a look. There's a world trophy there that he won, I think, in 1979, which is unheard of, really, just to be able to see the different types of bowls he's been playing with over the decades, and it's something special.
So just finishing off these trial ends, shaking hands, wishing everyone good luck, I'm sure. Quick slap for the teammate.
Yep. It's all about geeing your players up.
Absolutely. So Mark and Sue have been playing together on and off for the last 15 years. They know each other pretty well. Started playing together indoors, have had a very successful indoor career. And Ed and Elaine, 2014 was their first year of entry, so just 7 years together as a pair. So Mark and Sue have got double the amount of years as a pairing together.
Yeah, and we mentioned before that pairing, that understanding of your pairing, your strengths and weaknesses, and your style of play has an awful lot to do with the game of bowls. I think when you look at the all-time greats, your David Bryant, your Tony Alcocks, they knew each other's game backwards, and that does count for an awful lot of points. Like you mentioned, Sue and Mark have had a very good pairing. The WIBC World Mixed Pairs title indoors, and that takes some doing.
Yeah, 2004 that was. They won the indoor mixed pairs, then went on to win the World Indoor Mixed Pairs in Ireland in 2005.
Yep, so it just shows you, all four of these players that have played the game at a high level. I know we have the streaming cameras in play, but that won't affect them. They're used to the occasion.
Absolutely. Mark was saying that they go on the green and they just want to enjoy it, and if they win, it's a bonus. It's quite a nice relaxing motto, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it's a good motto, because your delivery is dependent on being relaxed, isn't it? If you start getting uptight, you start to snatch or pull your delivery, and that's no good for anybody's game.
Absolutely. And then Sue's reply to that was just lots of encouragement. They encourage each other all the time, they trust each other, and that's it. It's obviously worked.
Yep.
Very successful pair.
Yep. They've done very, very well over the years, so it's not broken, why change it?
Absolutely. Even as individuals, Mark's won the national singles twice, outdoors, 2005 and 2006, and Sue has won the ladies senior singles in 2018, so individually they're very successful as well.
Yep, exactly. And of course Ed Morris, part of our elite team this year, all kind of like fighting, if you wish, amongst themselves for a place in the Commonwealth Games, which is held here at Victoria Park in Leamington next year. It's the pinnacle of outdoor bowls, I think we're quite fair to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Ed said that playing in that squad has opened his eyes to the game, and playing just a level above what he was a few years ago.
2 feet, does ya?
So some real good practice on these greens for Ed this year. This is his 19th appearance in the championships.
Yeah, and they're in quite safe hands, aren't they, with John McGuinness? He's in charge of that elite team. He's been around the game an awful lot of years, both playing, supporting, and now he's involved with this kind of like team management, if you wish. And I think the team is in really, really good hands. But they've had to work for that, and they've been very, very busy doing lots of different games and match preparation during this summer. A lot of commitment.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. First end.
Get up on that. I'm just gonna go. Alright. Give a yard up, man.
I can't see the pace of the green changing much. They've only just moved across one rink. Temperature's definitely picked up over the last hour. Sun's managed to find its way here.
Yeah, just both trying to pick out those lines now, aren't they, first end?
Yeah, it normally takes 3 or 4 ends just to settle down at different lengths. They do have the trial ends, but we mentioned earlier on today that 9 times out of 10 you just plonk the jack on the tee.
Yeah.
And just work from that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a few nerves flying around as well. Just get settled.
Yep, both leads have played very well, during the day. Mark and Sue came through a really, really interesting game against Mark's son. They led all the way through that game, really in full control. Ed and Elaine, well, they played a very, very good professional game. Very difficult rinks, so it's very, very hard to make conversions and things like that, so it's how you manage that. I think sometimes when all teams have been playing pretty well, the national title sometimes just comes down to that little bit of luck.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you say, game management, tricky rinks, tricky conditions. You know, 2-foot bowl is a good bowl. I think they're looking at the shot here, aren't they?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of red disc bowls around there. Still maybe 30 inches of room. Looking to get to his own bowl.
Yep. I think that might have made the difference there. Just set it down. There you go.
This won't change the shot, Fred. Plenty of room. There's not a lot of danger anyway. He'll have had a good close look at that. Make his mind up whether he thinks he's in or not.
He likes it.
Little touch on the jack maybe, just short.
Frustrated face there.
Yeah.
Anything you don't want. Between 2 or 3? Hello?
Well, measure for shot.
2. Measure for shot.
Well, that slight touch of Mark's bowl looks like it's turned that in for shot.
Yep. Nice tight first end, that's what you want.
So, opening blood goes to Yorkshire.
More Yorkshire on at the end of the first.
Let's see what the jack preference is of Yorkshire here. Second end. Longer length jack looks to be the preference.
Yeah, we know from the previous game that Elaine likes a longer length jack as well, so be interesting to see how this game develops regarding the Battle of the Leads.
Absolutely, it's going to be a right tussle here. This is Ed and Elaine's 4th semi-final of the year and 2nd time in the final of the National Mixed Pairs. Never managed to clinch it, but they've been there or thereabouts a lot.
Yeah, it's that consistency, isn't it? Like with most sports.
Absolutely. Elaine said the only thing they disagree on is the shot choice. Not much then, in a pair.
Yeah, just 90% of the game, that'd be fine. I don't believe the men and the ladies having a different shot choice.
Not sure about that.
Yeah, little line.
Yeah, Elaine was unfortunate this year actually in the ladies' pairs. She qualified with her daughter Emma, who unfortunately had to have her appendix removed a week before the championships.
Oh my goodness.
So she had to get a reserve in to come up to Leamington with her.
That's a shame.
It is a shame, yeah.
Yep, wish her a speedy recovery.
She's up here today watching.
here?
Yep, she looks fine. Qualified midwife, so I've made friends with her.
Oh, some good opening bowls from Sue.
She must have been looking at you because she's flicked the end over. She must have been looking at you because she's flicked the end over. Good lad. As long as it doesn't distract the bowlers, I don't mind.
We want to finish just at the side of this. Yeah, you can see Sue saying get away. Just leave that gap. Yep, that's far enough away. This mixed pairs event is sponsored by ACIT this year, so we'd like to, thank them for their sponsorship. Like all our other sponsorships for the national finals, thank you very much for your continued interest in our sport. It's vital for us to succeed. Again, just wanted to get one in, nothing at the side, again, urging it away. Well, I think that's past the jack, so not too bad. He can sit that for second if he wants to. Wow, definitely two.
I think Mark will be covering now.
He can still play down his backhand. Obviously he's a left-hander, most people's forehand. Just try and get between the green and the orange bowl, a foot past 18 inches past the jack centre. Rink would get another and also cover. Make it sound easy. Again, just slightly nip that line again.
Yeah. I'd be very surprised if Ed doesn't play a bit quicker at this now. He's got all the back bowls.
Yeah,
all
I think
the
it
position.
might be depending if he's 2 or 3, I think. I think if he's 2, I think he'll probably go for that.
Lots of gaps though, aren't there?
Yep,
Could have a
big gap.
good bowl and be very unlucky through one of those gaps. Slightly quicker.
Yeah,
He's playing
seems
it.
to like it.
Is he going to get down? It's taken one away. Just the one.
Yep, second.
Oh, mate.
So 1 to Yorkshire.
Scoreman's Essex, nil Yorkshire 2 after 2 ends.
It's only a straight-handed you wide. Yeah.
Jack just snuck a couple of yards past where Mark wanted it. But it's very early days. Anyone that plays bowls or leads will know that rolling the jack is very different to actually playing a delivery of a bowl.
Yeah, I think more so when it's slightly a heavier green as well, because it's obviously a lightweight jack on the outdoor surface, and sometimes on a heavy green it feels like sending a polystyrene cup.
Yeah, very, very different. I actually don't think that the jack rolling gets enough credit when you do it well.
Yeah, it's definitely a skill. You can win or lose your game, that's for certain.
Absolutely, all part of the tactics, makes a massive difference.
Dunno. Just the right. Like if that's half an inch tighter. Yeah. This is bang on. Yeah.
decent track again.
Steady.
Just the pace.
Okay, it's up to you. Yeah, but why not? See what happens. Penny.
Sue's just switched her hand there. Maybe didn't like that last one stuck out a bit. Oh, good decision in the end.
Yes, it was.
Just lift yours.
End number 3, you're still just playing around with all these different lines, aren't you?
Yeah, you're still just fiddling around at a different length, just find something that suits yourself. Any touch on the black bolt.
Left foot, Elaine.
Yep, well played.
Yep.
Mark Walton obviously eligible to play the over 55s next year.
Yeah, both as well.
Yeah.
Elaine turned 55 in April, so she'll be in the senior pairs and singles next year. Looking forward to it, I think. Bit of a difference in age between Ed and Elaine. Maybe that's why they don't always agree on shot choice. 33 for Ed and 55 for Elaine.
Great to see though, just shows you how diverse this sport is.
Absolutely, yep.
This was okay, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, did it.
Go again, I think. Well.
Try and draw to that last word. Just a foot through.
Yeah. I think just to give it a chance, I think.
Still on that, I'm not there.
Fancy that,
No, just asking.
No, I still think there. Give it a chance. Yeah.
No.
Well,
Just the one in there for Essex, which is I mean, as a skip, that's not an ideal position. Even though you're holding the shot, you're thinking ahead of what the opposition are going to do, and that's easily removable for then 3 down.
Well, it wasn't. Okay.
well, just trying to add,
Yes.
urging it forward. Should be enough.
Well
It's gonna
played.
reach. No,
Oh.
sure. Again in this direction.
Yeah. Luckily for Ed, that was the last bowl, so there wasn't the opportunity there for Yorkshire to take that bowl
We're
out.
still stuck in this 4-ball pairs mentality. We're so used to having 4-ball pairs. I found it's changed the way I played pairs personally. I think because you normally when you're playing a pairs game you might flash at it with your second, but you've still got 2 balls to recover. Where now you think, well, you might be a bit more conservative with that second ball.
Absolutely, yeah. You almost want to be driving with your first if you have to. Give yourself a chance.
Makes you think a little bit more, I think.
Yeah. Still sticking working with this longer length jack. No one's really switched it up yet, have they?
No, they haven't, no. It's kind of maybe tee to tee, or maybe just 2 yards short of that tee.
Line's brilliant.
A little rush of blood.
Yeah, just heading back towards that river this end, aren't they? Probably about 4 feet, yard 4 feet different from the other end.
Yeah, it's funny how it drops, doesn't it? Most greens have 2 different speeds anyway. My green's the same in a certain direction. It may be 5 feet heavier in one direction.
James, your line's brilliant.
I think as a lead as well, you're always trying to push through you first. Better to be through than to be short.
Yeah, you've always got something to work with. Short balls sometimes can just hinder the head.
Elaine, get up now.
Very good recovery there.
Yep.
Well done, good adjustment, man.
Very little backswing, hasn't she?
Yeah, I've got a delivery a bit like that. Bit of a push. All in your legs rather than your arms.
Again, you're only 18 inches.
Well, what's the speed like? I think she just dropped this one. Mine wasn't bad.
Push your own, mate. 50. Yeah. Come on, Sue. Come on, back down.
Going right way back.
Hey.
Very good bowl there.
Well played.
Yeah, that came back very well with that length.
Yep. I think Mark will be happy with that end. Bit different to the last round. Ed and Elaine was 6-0 up by this point.
So they keep telling you.
Well, he's just looking just to get down to this wing bowl, can turn his own bowl. A little bit unlucky. Probably just lacking the 18 inches.
Mark's looking for that big swing now. Is he going to get back? Just slightly over pace.
Ed can afford just to arrive into this, just slightly playing through. There's a lot of different options he can get. He gets to the wing bowls, good. Lands square on his own.
He's got something. Yeah, that's probably the winner. It's funny, isn't it? Because even though Yorkshire were holding 2 then, the head was actually in the favour of Essex.
Yes, yeah. It's all about getting the balls in the head, isn't it? And giving yourself a chance to create something.
Yeah. Yeah, as a lead, that's your number 1 job. Build a good head.
Well, it's not easy. I'm just wondering whether he might just force his way through this.
Yeah. Mark was saying his favourite shot to play is just to cover when Sue's holding 3. So unfortunately, he's got to do something here.
Yeah, no. Oh my goodness, nearly feathered that all the way in for shot. Yeah, we'd all like to be covering at 3, wouldn't we? That's all that
Absolutely.
makes.
They were 13-6 down yesterday, Mark and Sue, in one of their games, and they came back to win 24-13.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it just shows it's never over till it's over.
What did they do? Tie them up?
They changed hands apparently. They had a discussion, quick team talk, changed a lot, and the opposition never scored again. So
Well, can he get right down into these greens now? He has
Very
done.
good bowl there from Ed.
Fantastic.
Yep, great bowl.
Yeah, it's very well played.
Really coming back that hand, isn't it? Even
Yeah.
with weight,
Yeah.
he had.
I think it gives you the confidence when you've got a hand that swings. It just gives you that confidence, doesn't it? Just to be able to play up. There's very little that could go wrong with that pace. Well, anything in that split would be very good. Run forward.
Looks very good.
Yeah, that's good. We'll take that.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait for the next ball.
Yeah. So that's 1 to Essex.
Essex 2, Yorkshire 2, on 4.
Yeah, better than 2.
2 shots apiece after 4 ends.
Down the ridge. Fracture tighty all over it. This is good, Sue. Come to you. Tighter. Wait. The line. Off the line. Up to you. This way. You can play that if you want to, or stick with that. I'm not bothered this way. Too bad, you got the pace. Wouldn't have gone far, 2 yards really. One there now.
Well, nip the line again. Ed's asking for it to hold.
Ed's doing his aeroplane mode again,
Just a yard really. That's the
willing
way.
it out.
You get there, you're good.
There's plenty of room here.
Very unlucky.
Well, a couple of balls to work with now.
Wrong one. I think Sue's a little undecided on her hand. Still just trying to find a line down one of the sides.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you're struggling for a line, it's that decision. How long do you stick with something before you think, actually, I'm going to start changing?
Yeah, and they both look like they've got a swing. Normally, well, quite often you'd have a straight hand and a swinger. I know as a lead I would always choose the straight to start with. But it looks as if this one's a bit tricky on both sides. Although a quick swingy green, you'd probably favour Mark and Sue to perform well with their indoor track record.
Yes, you'd think so.
I know Mark's done pretty well in the World Champion of Champions in New Zealand as well. Any idea about New Zealand greens? How do they play?
They're not too bad, to be honest. I don't think they're as fast as per se, for the Australian carpets and that, or the other, the grass greens. But yeah, it's certainly of a decent quality. It's just stuck right out, hasn't it? That one.
Not a bad line today, is it?
I always quite enjoy watching the bowls from the southern hemisphere. Like, I know they have the lovely weather, don't they? But when you look at the complexes that they have, I think it's just superb. Very envious.
Yeah, absolutely. We have one day of scorching sunshine and everyone's complaining. I don't think our bowls clubs are built for that kind of heat, but out in Australia obviously they've got all their pulley winch systems, they're all playing in the shade, they've got, you know,
yeah. State-of-the-art roofs.
shade, yeah, all over the green. Yeah. And of course they don't play their national competitions in the height of summer like we do.
Yeah, we have a very busy bowls calendar, don't we?
Yeah. Obviously many less daylight hours over here than there are over there, so our season has to be a lot shorter.
It's been a funny end this end. There's one good bowl and the rest of them are just searching, aren't they? Against going to go underneath. See if they get centre.
I think he might. Yeah.
Do you want to measure?
Absolutely.
I wonder if they'll change something now, bring the mat up, maybe try and change the lines. Sometimes helps.
Two red out and a measure for third.
Deceiving, isn't it? Angles and colours and hard to tell. Unfortunately, we don't have the rings like we do indoors. They come in handy, don't they?
They certainly do.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, you need a
zip line. Yeah.
A zip line, that'd be great. Yeah. Don't think the cameraman team will be wanting to fly down a zip line.
Very close. Just touching
Well.
both with green pole.
Very, very close.
Umpire can't split those.
Asking for the umpire. Sue's the marker. The umpire will come on.
Elaine taking the opportunity to just have a little rest there.
Yeah, she's been playing since 9:30 this morning.
I asked Mark and Sue earlier if they win what their plans were this evening, and they're going to go for a pizza.
Watch the boat out.
Yeah,
That's the good old Northerners, I can say that from Lancashire.
absolutely. And then back to the campsite for a drink.
3 red. 3 red.
And champagne popping for them.
Essex.
Very humble.
2.
Yeah, well, you can have a bit of fizz.
Up the side.
So again, just keeping this mat back. It's a good end that for Ed and Elaine. Three ends on the bounce. Yeah, I think that's almost up. Jack obviously has to be 2 metres from the ditch.
On him.
Looks like a fair road. That's the right kind of line in there.
Yeah, it's a very good line. Look at
Very
that,
good
perfect.
start. That's the best start we've had of the game.
Quite a decent swing on this
Again,
backhand.
on
in
the
this
right line, you're all
direction.
good here. There's not much said in it. Steady. So if you're steady, you'll be alright. That's 4 feet.
Well, just nip the line, but just not making the
Elaine,
trip.
I think your weight's okay if you just
Couple
push
of
it out.
feet.
Get the right line, it's fine. Well, this will finish in a good spot. That's finished well.
Finishing in a
Like
good
that lot.
position.
If you want to try one there under
I don't know
yours,
whether she might just
it's
swap
only your choice, I
to
don't
the
know.
forehand. Yep,
Try
plenty
one,
of
see what
balls
he
to
does.
work off. Just arrive at this, nudge it.
Needs to hold.
Oh, you're just going to go out now, you say? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just lacking a bit of pace, maybe.
I think with her delivery, it looks like she's really pushing through, but just the style that she plays in.
Yeah, it's all very from the shoulder, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Ed will just be trying to get close second with his first. Stop the count from happening, and then maybe look at trying to edge that bowl away.
Well, down a decent track. So just urging it forward, just lacking that yard.
Good effort here from Ed. Just going to whip. But good position.
Yeah, it's finished on the right side of the jack. That's for certainly not gets the wrong side of that bowl. So we're going to go to the waiting red bowls.
Full red at the moment, according to Sue, the marker.
Making the trip.
It's just lacking a touch. He's only got a crack an egg on that shot, hasn't he? To be making a handful.
Yep. Oh, he likes his eggs.
That is his nickname for anyone that doesn't know him, Egg Morris.
Yeah. Does like his fried eggs. Sometimes that happens when you play just two
3.
short balls. You just have that tendency just to push through.
Yeah, I think they've got away with a couple there. Could have been a lot more.
Yep, certainly could.
Essex 8, Yorkshire 2 to 6 ends. Maybe so. Cheers.
Well, another 3. Mark and Sue want to put a stop to this run.
Yeah.
End 5. How long do you give yourself before you have a chat with your mixed pairs partner?
Yep. Well, probably you want to start making a move now, don't you? Really want to start closing the gap. I think when you get to this kind of level, you play, really, really good players. And once they get into their stride, very, very hard to stop.
Yeah, I sometimes look at it as, 3 blocks of 5 ends. So good start in the first. Next, push on to the 10, then 15. You don't really want to be chasing after 15, do you?
Oh no, not in this shorter format, definitely not. It's very organised, that 3 blocks of 5.
Yeah, well, the Open we went to in China was all around set play, wasn't it? And
Skins, yes.
yes,
that's
very
right.
interesting format.
Yeah. To begin with, I wasn't sure whether I liked it or not, but as the tournament went on, I actually got the hang of it in a way. It's a little bit like sets play, where you can't afford to have that bad end or that little bit of bad luck against you. You're always having to really, really concentrate.
Anything off, you're really good. You're not a lot there.
And it's all about the start, isn't it? The start that you get.
Correct.
So it's played in 3 ends, 3 end sets, and you get a point, the shots on the rink, and a point for winning each 3 end sets.
Yeah. I'm glad you remembered.
Very interesting format. Not something we have over here, is it?
No, I don't think I've ever seen skins played in the UK at all.
Come on, pace now.
Good idea for an open competition if any club secretaries are listening. Short, sharp formats.
I think sometimes the short, sharp format, it's very good for the crowd, isn't it? Like the sets play, for example.
Yeah.
You kind of get 3 climaxes, don't you? You get that 3 wins, and it's always something very, very interesting.
Absolutely.
But there's still that kind of like place in the sport for the traditional side of the game as well. It is how you get that mix of both.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly the same as what they've tried to do in cricket, isn't it?
Yep.
Keep the test, everyone loves the test, and then introduced a couple of other options for the crowd and for younger players and spectators. You can't imagine taking a 6 or 7-year-old to a test cricket.
No, definitely not.
Can be quite boring, can't it? It needs a touch of that jack.
Wasn't far away. Chance for Mark just to get one in.
At least to nail it. Preferably behind the jack, just through, because Ed's got a shot on at the moment, just to trail that probably for 3 or 4.
Well, got a little helping hand off his Leeds bowl. That is the shot. Be very similar for Ed, bowl or jack.
Yeah, he's not going to be short to this, is he?
Yep.
Very
Well
good.
played.
Yep. Line a couple there now. Shake of the head there from Mark. Not happy with the result of that end. Mark, of course, already does have a title to his name this championships.
Certainly does.
He won the family pairs with his son Scott earlier in the tournament.
Nearly did it in the singles as well. You know, he played very, very well in the singles, got to the semi-final. David Bolt was just on fire. He really was. He just couldn't miss. Not bad even drug tested. Just funny, isn't it, how some games you just turn up and it doesn't matter what you do, you just can't put a ball wrong.
Absolutely. Ed's winning it to stay out there, and it has. Yeah. Great start there.
Hold on. Good ball.
The lead seemed to have settled on this backhand coming down now, even though it is a big swing.
It's a very big swing, yeah, the balls are coming back quite well.
They both seem to be consistently playing that,
If it just passed, it's good.
so they've settled a bit.
Yeah. You're up.
And again, Ed's asking it to hold. Yep, another good bowl.
Superb balls.
What are you fancy?
Mark's just asked it to change a hand. Yep. Try and come down, draw that jack back.
Yeah, just went bend there with speed. Can stay on the island. No, it's gone.
Okay, you just want to be inside, counting inside the green. Anywhere here is really good. Much more, July, not a lot.
Well, it's through the head. Ed will be pleased with that third bowl there.
I'd probably go back there, just change.
Yeah, definitely.
Play out, swing into him, just try and open it up a bit.
Well, this just needs to hold up a little bit.
Stay there.
Yeah, interesting gone back to that backhand.
There we go now.
So she just changed for the one bowl.
I do like to play, you know, a running ball on a hand that bends, I must admit. One where you a hand that can like drifts, you're always just trying to find that line that normally doesn't exist. But at least if a hand is bending, if you miss it, you can just correct your weight, can't you? Either
Yeah.
take a bit of weight out or you increase your weight. You just have that confidence that it is going to actually bend inwards.
Yeah. Expect Ed's just trying to slip past that wing bowl, just get round to these two green, be counting and be in a good position. Yep, good start from Ed. You wouldn't think Mark would be short to this. He'd probably be trying to just play through those, won't he? He's trying to stop and push and lay on any of those bowls.
Yeah, just trying to keep it simple, just pick your pace and hit it, not too.
Yep.
Oh, he's just jammed him.
Slightly better position though, he can see the jack now. Like we said, better to go with your first in this kind of format. Ed's just piling on the pressure here.
Yep. Just keep putting them all in. create anything. Just slightly reduce the speed.
Switch of hands, playing it on the big one. Is it going to get down? Oh, very unlucky there. Not to get an edge off of anything down there.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 options down that hand, wasn't there? Just unfortunate. Normally the case when you're trailing and you're kind of like maybe just scratching around for line and length, you do normally get the bad luck as well.
Yeah.
Or the odd hole.
It's definitely through with this one. Trying to cover that count in case he does get the jack. Yeah, probably needed to be a little bit further through.
Well, I think he's far enough away, but close enough to make Mark just...
Well, he's counting as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he might have just gone for a draw here, but he's still just playing up, but he's underneath the line, so this might be a very cheap 4 or 5 here.
Yeah.
That hand's just causing a little bit of trouble, isn't it? It's bending an awful lot.
Absolutely.
5 red.
So I think that was probably a 5 for Ed and Elaine, which is a huge lead now, 15-2.
Essex 15 at Yorkshire 2.
Won the last 6 ends.
Giving the Essex pair a lot of confidence as well, isn't it? You can see in the stride, in the body language there, they know that they've got a really good start in this final.
Just getting that adrenaline going, isn't it? Once that adrenaline's going, you know, you fall into that rhythm if you wish.
Yeah. Still lots of play to go though, lots of ends to go. And on a green like this, counts are often the way, aren't they?
Yeah, the amount of times you'll just see that one bad end and you'll pick up, you know, a sloppy big count. I think Mark and Sue will be just looking just to get in, get hold of this jack and just really, really change it. I'd bring the mat right up the green.
Yeah. I mean, when the heads aren't super tight and there's lots of gaps around, or you're only getting one ball there, gives the opposition a shot to take that out, pick up a count, go through a gap as we've just seen, 2 or 3 gaps. Opposition picks up a count, tricky greens.
Got into it, another great line. All line it. Okay, got through. On your fish. Yeah. Another chance, Elaine. Drop the yard, you're really good. Yeah.
Very good bowl here. Very good bowl.
Great job, really, really good.
Yeah, she's found this rink quite well and early, which is the key, isn't it? Finding a rink nice and early.
Yep, good reply. She's just getting one, nailing it with one, isn't she? And then getting the other 2 there or thereabouts, which is what you want as a skip. You want just your lead to nail one, and then put positions with the other.
Coming down there.
It's not too far away, slight edge off the front bowl. No. Pace was very good, slightly under the line.
I don't think Mark's got any other option apart from to try and put something else in the head, because it's a bit vulnerable, that green bowl there on its own, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a case of they just have to start trying to just create something, aren't they? I think whether you just maybe attack a little bit more, maybe slightly firmer, just to hold the lines and make it a bit easier. This will be another 2 or 3 easy here. Into the split. Yeah. Run off that with the yard, or you play more direct and just keep it nice and firm.
That yard shot though on these greens is very, very hard to pull off, isn't it? It
Yep.
just ducks and dives away. See, good bowl, but he's still a couple down. I think you have to adjust your game, don't you?
Definitely.
According to what the rink dictates.
Yeah. If the ring doesn't suit your game, you need to start changing things around, definitely. She's wafting that through the hole.
It's actually ended up in a very good place.
I'm just wondering if Mark can get rid of all 3 of these bowls.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
very, very firm. One bowl might just lock in though, but I think he's got to give this a chance.
Yep, got lots of options. He can turn his own on the front onto the jack. He's got back position. He's got to play right through this.
Well, he needs to bend.
Look at that. Strange, isn't it, how they bend so much on a draw
Yeah.
and yet do something completely different with some weight behind it.
Yep, absolutely encouraging pack on the back there. Well, might be another 3. Well, you wouldn't have expected this at the beginning of this final.
No, absolutely not.
Little bit. It's enough to be worthwhile. A bit more than that. Yep.
Sticking with this longer length jack as well. Good decision, I think, from Elaine. Just keep plugging away.
Just going. I don't think you were that tight there. All over the line. 1 yard. I suggest your weight's good. Go wider. Pretty chalk. Yeah, he's still tight, mate. Don't wang that. Light, but
I'll take it. Have you got it?
easy now. I'll just push it out. Better? Any though. Okay. Helps a bit. Easy now.
Well, that's the winner there from Sue. Plenty of room though for Mark and Ed.
needs to jump this front bowl.
Mark's probably thinking he needs to capitalise on this. Isn't he? Good opportunity here for them to change this game around. If they can pick up the jack, change something.
That was a good ball from Mark there. Heads down the channel. That's it, nice and solid on the jack. Oh, unlucky. Very, very close.
That's the question, is the ball there, Penny?
Pick up a count.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Kind of looking at 2s and 3s at this stage.
Definitely worth 2 more.
And 10.
Just trying to go on another. Just 2 more.
Well, I don't know about the front one really. Can't see with the balls in.
I think you might be able to just drag this a little bit. It's hard to see where you can see.
Sorry?
Yeah, you can say if he plays his backhand, being the left-hander now, he's sticking with it. I hope he's seen something.
He's playing for Ed's bowl.
Yep.
To pick up a 4.
Yeah, I think when it gets to this stage, Steph, doesn't it, 18-2, you can say as soon as you see that opportunity, which you're not going to get a lot of when you're playing, you know, this talented players, you have to take your chance, don't you?
Absolutely. And they've got the jack, that's the main thing.
But the mat stayed back.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe they'll just play for a really short length, minimum length, but jack back.
Yep, gone very short.
Very short, not quite minimum though, I think. Small kind of...
Maybe 26, 27 metres.
Yeah.
Straight down. Straight down. Go ahead.
Oh, that's not finished bad. So it won't be the first game we've seen turn around.
Yeah. I think Elaine's just pipped her to the post there.
She's relentless today.
Sticking with it though, I mean the bowl's sticking out, she's resting this or jack. Oh, very unlucky there.
Well, I think clearly a couple of feet more is good. You could turn, you get the jack yourself, so be it. Get round to here.
I think Elaine will just try and be pushing through with this, trying to turn her own round the corner, coming back through to the greens. Oh, that's not bad there. I think Ed will be happy with that. Very good bowl here from Mark. Oh, just didn't quite go. Didn't quite get the angle that he wanted to bring it back to these two greens, did he?
Yeah, exactly. It was a little bit unfortunate there. He played very, very good pace.
I think he's going to change now, hasn't he?
Yep, I think he's got to play down the other hand. It's not an easy shot, but there is a drag on this jack for maybe a good 4.
He's got more options there. He can rest the bowl, he can drag the jack for a count. Needs to hold.
Well,
Now
not
it'll start
far.
coming. Very good effort.
What a bowl, just lacking that maybe 2 feet, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
But it still set something up.
Probably not quite as dangerous from an Essex perspective now, is it? It might have just taken that backhand shot off.
He could nearly swap back again if he wanted. I know it's not ideal, keep swapping hands, but if he could just swap back and play something, even if he gets it nice and thin, that's going to guarantee 1, maybe 2. If he gets it where his foot is there, with kind of 4-5 feet of pace, because the jack isn't moving a lot on this green today.
Yeah, he'll be very unlucky if he squeezes that white bowl through the head, though.
Yeah, exactly. And
Very
it
unlucky.
It can be anything 4, 5, 6 feet of pace. You know, pace is the easy bit. The hard bit's actually hitting.
Yeah, we can't quite see the angles from here, but he'll be very unlucky if he doesn't move the jack with this shot.
Needs to run.
Yeah.
Maybe just not quick enough.
Yeah, not quite. Ed's just got a dead draw on here. He can't afford to move it himself.
Yeah, at the score line at the moment, one
You
down
take
is
one
nothing.
down. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice delicate draw.
He's ducking quick.
Wasn't far away.
Yeah, good effort.
So 1 to Yorkshire.
Essex 18, Yorkshire 4.
Good. Clear pace. Touch wide, wait for you.
Elaine's just got a nice little shoulder there to rest if she can get back. That's very good there. Yep.
Alright,
Second
good.
bowl.
Well done. Yep. Yeah,
She's looking as well. Just rest that away. Yep, back to 3 up. That's a good result.
Same bowl now, rest that.
Yeah, certainly is. 3 good bowls as well.
Let's see how Mark plays this now. Does he just stick with that hand and try and wrestle in, nuzzle into that shoulder, or does he try and play and nudge the jack to make that shot harder for Ed?
I think I'd just stick with his open hand. He could try that clever shot, maybe just miss the line by a bowl. He just needs to flick one of them red balls in, and that's kind of like the end, more or less dead, isn't it? But it's always personal choice. You play the hand that you're playing the better bowls on. He's playing your shot here. If he gets it perfect, it'll be absolutely fantastic.
I think with this score at this time of the game, you've got to try and be brave with this sort of stuff. Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
Yep.
It's in. Just keep making them count. Ed's just looking to get to these green bowls just to the back of the jack. Oh, a million miles away, perfect.
Yep, perfect pace for that. Could afford to be up to them, couldn't he?
Yeah, played it with confidence.
Drop onto that.
Yeah, drop on the orange one.
It's making Mark switch. Let's try and do a similar thing to what Ed's just done. Unfortunately, Ed's bowl's locked in there, isn't it, with that green one, so he can't play it completely out the head.
Yeah, which is why I think he was just kind of playing, just arriving, just trying to free that ball up in a way.
2 feet, you probably draw it.
He's got to start looking for multiple shots though. Can't really at this stage afford just to pick up a 1.
Here again,
It's very close to drawing a shot here.
lucky.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's very difficult to remove that other Essex bowl.
Just underneath. Giving himself a kick for that, I think.
Yes, he knew he had to be up with that bowl.
Change of cap direction.
That's because it's like he's just holding on to that youth, isn't he, for another 6 months. Nice edge. Yeah.
Very good.
Absolutely fantastic ball.
Yeah,
Really was. That just shows us that when you're playing with confidence, you know, you can do anything.
absolutely.
2 red. Oh, wrong one.
Yeah, Ed's not really been under pressure at all, has he? So he's just playing those kinds of shots for fun.
Exactly. Well, that lead again just extended.
Yorkshire 4, 12 ends.
12 ends have been played. 8 of those Essex.
I'm surprised that Mark and Sue haven't had a little little get together team talk or some kind of encouragement or something. Really need to start picking up some shots soon. It's that awful sinking feeling, isn't it, when you just feel the ends ticking away in this short format.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been very heavily dominated by Essex as well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But you know, it's a national final, and you won't be giving up. Keep going.
Yeah. I know Mark's motto was to enjoy it.
Yep.
That's what they go out there for. So as long as they're enjoying themselves.
Yeah, decent, mate. Exactly. What's your pace doing you? Solid 10. 10? Adios. Right. Let me just try one there, so I think that's probably in your way. Get up on that. Get up. Get up.
That's a better bowl there from Sue.
Yeah, it's very hard here. Now this way it becomes like a mental game, isn't it? It's,
Absolutely.
you know, you're so far behind, but it is still possible to win. It's how you regroup now and just think, well, actually, let's just try and get to 10. You know, set yourself just mini little targets.
Yeah. Doesn't help when Ed Morris is nailing the chuck.
Doing it, yeah. Even Mark's just laughing.
Yeah, he can't do anything wrong, can he?
Fancy going for a break, mate?
That was almost a bad bowl with a good result.
Yeah, just send him off for a little break there, a couple of eggs and that.
That one, yeah. 2 feet. 18 inches. Somewhere in that ballpark.
I want to go near it. I mean, it looks horrible from up here.
Don't look much better down here. I mean, it's missing that one. That's a good 5 feet down, mine.
What's mine off?
Good 5 inches.
Oh, okay.
That looks close again with this one. It's going to end up in a very good position there.
Yeah, that's 3 they lie. That will probably really just put the nail in the coffin, I think.
Just behind the jack, so he can't really use it to get in off, but he could rest it. Just the wrong side of that. He really wanted the inside edge.
Yes, it wouldn't be far away.
Oh, he likes it.
It's all on the pace, yes.
He's telling it to bend.
Stuck away.
Very annoying in the way though for Mark.
Yeah, you can only see a tiny fraction of that bowl.
He's going to have to try and get that gap, find a line from somewhere. Mind you, being left-handed, never know.
Yep, allow the bowl to bend a little bit more.
Very good effort here.
Off that. Oh, the missed that.
Yep, so another single. One to Essex, so 21-4 now the lead. Just 5 ends left. 17 adrift. There's not been many occasions where I've had a chance to make a 4 or a 5 during this game.
No, exactly. It gets to that point, doesn't it, where you think we've got 4 shots in 13. What's
Yeah.
the chances of getting getting 17 in 5,
Yeah, it's very difficult.
but it is doable. Seen stranger things happen.
Yeah, I remember seeing a singles game at 20 shots to 4. The next minute it was 21-20 at Worthing. Takes some doing.
I think it's about mental strength at that point, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm more think as well, especially in singles, you know, even if you're playing, all of a sudden you start playing absolutely exceptional, there's always that chance of fluking one, isn't there? Just that, because obviously you need to keep winning, so you've got, you know, you've not got the last bowl every end. It just takes that one little bit of fortune. You don't get that happen a lot.
Again, go. Brilliant for that. Again. Hey.
Well, it came all the way back.
Yeah.
Nearly.
Yeah, the Leeds are having a good battle.
Okay.
I think Yorkshire are holding 2 at the minute. Just snip that line and it absolutely punishes you over there.
This was good.
See if Mark can keep these 2 and add another couple, give them a chance.
You only got to miss it by a fraction. 5 feet. Come on, Mark. Run. Come here. Yeah, well done, love.
Very good bowl there.
Yeah. Well, that's a 3. Praying Ed misses with 2. He hasn't done. There he goes again. That's just the difference, isn't it? When they just get that slight little glimpse of a few, Ed
Yep.
just slams the door shut.
Absolutely.
Just finds the hole.
Yeah, Essex aren't even leaving them, you know, with just one bowl to take out, or there's no options for counts at the minute, which is very frustrating for Yorkshire.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether we might just see this as the last end here. Just be gentle now. Not finished too bad.
Yeah.
Well, what can he conjure up?
Just
Going
pitched
underneath.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe yet another single, maybe. Trick them in.
One white. One white.
Oh, it was a single to Yorkshire.
Mark must have seen a different shot. I know he had a couple of back goals there, but ones are no good, are they? So, you know, he played the right shot. Just try and just create something. Because we're now looking at 16 shots, 4 ends. 4 every end.
Yeah, if Ed wasn't playing quite so well, you'd like to think you had a chance at that, but he just keeps coming in there, doesn't he? Good start from Sue. Very good start from Sue. That's exactly what you want when you're in this position of the game.
And get the back of it.
She can stick 3 on it.
Run, run. Just mind your line.
Another chance here.
Five.
I don't think Sue's played that bad, really. It just because the scoreline doesn't really reflect that, does it? There's just been just no chances. You know, they've not allowed them to have chances. Is the difference?
Yep.
Must be that lucky hat of Elaine.
Hurry a lot.
Oh, another chance here again.
Still about maybe 4 feet this time. Come on, stop messing about. Get one close.
Yeah, just hasn't taken that chance.
To the better line.
Good bowl here from Elaine. Just a good second. That's what you really need in this position, isn't it?
Yep, you just keep matching the goals, don't you? You just don't allow anything other than 1 or a 2 at this stage.
Yep. Not an easy position if that ends up being the bowl that they need to take out for a few. It's quite well protected in there.
That saves me moving, doesn't it? Disturb anything.
Very good here from Ed. Very good. Look at that.
Played very well.
He's playing exceptionally well.
Can't take that from him.
No. Not around. I think Mark would like to hide Ed's next 2 bowls.
I'd just throw him over the stand. That'd be quite good. Straight into the park.
Yep. Good again.
Yeah, he just keeps packing the head out, doesn't he? That's going to be very difficult to remove too. Underneath.
I think we might end up seeing this as the last end.
And we have a winning team here.
That's it, the white flag is waved with another 2 there for the pair from Essex. So it's Ed Morris and Elaine Swan. The 2020
Cheer please from Yorkshire, Sue Allen and Mark Walton.
Brilliant.
Very well deserved, I think, there, Steph.
Yep, very well deserved. 4 semi-finals and 2 finals, and they finally won the trophy. I'm sure they'll be absolutely ecstatic.
Yeah, definitely. It just shows you that, you know, just keep playing together and patience pays off. Been playing together since that 2014 mark. You know, the game builds up, your relationship builds up. 19 games of bowls during these championships for Ed. You know, and 19 very good games of bowls as well.
Yeah, very well played.
So we're going to go into the presentation party very, very shortly. They're just going to be setting up the greens. Stay with us for that. Well, it kind of wasn't the final we expected, but sometimes that's what happens in finals, you know, especially on the outdoor surface. You know, it started off very well, nip and tuck for the first 5 or 6 ends, but then it was all Ed and Elaine. The leads were playing very, very well, but every time Mark Walton had that slight little glimpse of a chance, Ed just took it away.
Yep, can't take it away from Ed. He has an exceptional game on what looked like a very tricky green.
So they're just quickly just confirming the scorecards just while we're setting up there. Don't forget, if you want to come and see some live bowls at Victoria Park here in Leamington, we still have quite a few of the team games coming up. We have the under 25 males and the under 31 female team games over the weekends. We've also got top clubs coming up as well. Tickets are available for this event and they can be found at the Bowls England website. And also it's quite right to say, just like to thank you, Steph, as well for your time today.
Very welcome, I've really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's always great to get the ladies' side of the game involved as well.
Absolutely.
You know, mixed pairs.
Mixed is one of my favourite disciplines. Mixed pairs, mixed fours. Get the opportunity to play with the men. I think they can have a very different game style compared to a lot of the ladies. So
yeah, I think you're right by saying that. You know, there's a lot of different tactics and game plans, but you know, the ladies at this
I'll enjoy playing my golf bat.
ladies as well. Yep.
Yep.
It's fantastic to see. But you know, for the first year,
I don't think I'll be up for
streaming,
it,
you know,
but
just on
I'll
behalf
turn
of everybody here at
The only thing-
24/7.tv,
the only thing that makes me want to play, you know,
thank you very, very much for your support during the 3 days of streaming. You know, lovely comments, fantastic. We can take this forward next year and just keep building. It's heavily reliant on you as our, you know, supporters and players out there all around the UK. Keep liking these streams, keep sharing these streams amongst your friends and various bowls clubs within the UK, and let's just try and build on these national championships as we go forward. Hey, look, she's on the phone here. Look, phone a friend.
that's Emma, the daughter, who has just had her appendix out. She's looking all right, isn't she?
She's looking very well, yeah. I thought she was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire there.
Yeah.
She's just selling a hat.
Smiling away.
Yeah, it's lovely to see.
Yeah.
What did Ed call her? The old bird?
The old bird.
Well,
yep.
she's not done bad for an old
Yep.
bird, has she?
Bunking off workers, obviously.
Bunking
It's
off
paid
work.
off.
She'll be at Kentucky later. The trophies have just been put in place.
I think these two were promised a meal out by one of their club mates if they'd won.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so wonder if he's going to uphold his end of the bargain.
Who is it? Who?
I don't know.
Name and
I can't
shame.
name and shame. I
Just
don't know.
wondering if it's
I
going to be a
don't know.
McDonald's or somewhere nice. Yeah. No, they've done very, very well. They've played very well, you know, for the last couple of days in this discipline.
Yeah.
Well, there's the medals, there's the trophies. So we're going to welcome now the Bowls England presidential party to the green. Don't forget, this event is sponsored by ACIT. Again, we fully thank them for their sponsorship and their continued support in these finals.
Hannah, the immediate past president of Bowls England, Hazel Mark, and representing our sponsor, ACIT Sports, Chris Faulkner.
And there's Chris Faulkner representing the ACIT brand as the sponsors.
Finalists from Yorkshire, Sue Allen and Mark Walton.
Slightly less well known than his wife.
Yeah, I'm going to tell him. So we move to the runners-up, ladies and gentlemen, of this 2021 Mixed Pairs Championships from Yorkshire, Mark Walton and Sue Ellen. Fantastic pair, aren't they? Really, really lovely, likeable pair.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't add a winning tick to their record, but they can definitely add a runner-up, another final.
Yeah, you think the amount of games you play during the season, and the amount of travelling you do, the commitment, it's superb.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mixed
I know
pairs
Mark had
final
6 years out of the
winners
sport.
From Essex,
Yep.
Elaine Score and Ed
Barry
Morris.
true to return.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 Bowls England National Mixed Pairs winners, Ed Morris and Elaine Score from Essex. Can she get it over the hat? No, oh.
Just.
There we go, quick handshakes. There's the trophy. They might be filling that with some nice whiskey later. Well, knowing Ed, load of fried eggs. What a cracking photo.
Very well played, both of them.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid that's all we have time for today here at Royal Leamington Spa. Once again, thank you very much for your continued support. Hopefully we'll look forward to seeing you next year. But until then, from Steph and myself, it's good night. God bless everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Sure.